The rain started as a gentle patter against the window pane, but quickly escalated into a furious drumming. Lily sighed, tracing a circle on the condensation with her finger. Outside, the world was a blurry gray, mirroring how she felt inside. It wasn't that she was sad exactly. More empty. Her parents were lovely, of course. Her mom, a doctor, was already at the hospital, and her dad, an architect, was lost in blueprints at his desk downstairs. They always remembered to ask about her day, to leave her little notes with her breakfast, but they were often distant, preoccupied with their important grown-up things. She glanced around her room, a colorful haven amidst the quiet house. Canvases leaned against the walls, tubes of paint scattered across her desk like fallen jewels. Lily loved to paint. It was the one place she felt truly in control, truly able to create something beautiful. But today, even her paints felt dull. She flipped open her sketchbook, a worn and well-loved companion. Page after page showed attempts at friends. A girl with bright red hair smiling awkwardly. A boy building a magnificent castle of sand. Each one unfinished, each one lacking something. They felt flat, like echoes of a wish, not a reality. A particularly loud clap of thunder rattled the window. Lily shivered, not from cold, but from a familiar loneliness. "I wish I had a friend," she whispered to Whiskers, her fluffy calico cat, who blinked lazily from atop a pile of art books. Whiskers, as usual, offered no advice, only a slow, deliberate tail swish. Suddenly an idea sparked. She grabbed a fresh canvas, a large one, and squeezed out a vibrant yellow. Not just any yellow, but the color of sunshine and dandelions in pure, unadulterated joy. Today she wouldn't paint a memory, or a hope, but a creation. She would paint the perfect friend. She started with the raincoat, a bright, cheerful yellow that seemed to glow even in the dim light. It had to be practical, of course, with a hood that could shield against the rain, and big, roomy pockets. Then came the boots, matching the raincoat, perfect for splashing in puddles. Lily meticulously painted each detail, the buckles, the seams, the slight scuff marks, as if her friend had already embarked on countless adventures. The face took the longest. She wanted a kind face with sparkling eyes and a mischievous smile. A face that would laugh with her, understand her, and share her secrets. She added a smattering of freckles across the nose, and a few strands of hair escaping from under the hood. With each brushstroke, Lily poured a little more of her longing onto the canvas, shaping her ideal companion with careful precision. She imagined her friend's voice bright and bubbly, and her laughter like wind chimes in the breeze. As the painting neared completion, Lily felt a warmth spread through her chest, a tiny flicker of hope in the gray afternoon. It wasn't quite the same as having a friend, but it was a start. The first thing Lily noticed wasn't the sunshine streaming through her window, a welcome change from yesterday's gloom, but the emptiness on her easel. Her heart leaped into her throat. The painting, it was gone. She distinctly remembered leaving it there, propped up and ready to be admired in the morning light. "That's impossible," she breathed, scrambling out of bed. She scanned the room, checking behind her desk, under her bed, even inside her overflowing art supply bins. Nothing. It wasn't leaning against the wall with the others, hadn't been tucked away for safekeeping. Just gone. A knot of confusion tightened in her stomach. Had she imagined painting it? No, that couldn't be. The feel of the brush in her hand, the smell of the paint, the sheer joy of creation. It had all been so real. "Whiskers," she called, hoping her cat might offer some feline insight. Whiskers, however, was unusually preoccupied, staring intently out the window, tail twitching. Driven by a strange compulsion, Lily threw on her slippers and hurried downstairs, then out the back door into the garden. And there, amidst the rose bushes, splashing in a puddle left by the previous night's rain, was a girl. She was wearing a bright yellow raincoat, just like in the painting, and matching yellow boots. Lily froze, her mouth agape. It was her painting, the girl from her canvas brought to life. She wasn't flat and two-dimensional anymore. She was real. The girl looked up, her face beaming, and a cascade of curly brown hair tumbled from beneath the hood of her raincoat. Her eyes sparkled with an energy that mirrored the sunshine. "Hello," she chirped, her voice exactly as Lily had imagined, bright and bubbly like wind chimes. "I'm Lumi. It's a perfect day for puddle jumping, don't you think?" Lily could only stare, speechless. It felt like a dream, a particularly vivid and improbable dream. She blinked, pinched herself, and looked again. Lumi was still there, laughing as she stomped in another puddle, sending droplets flying. Hi, Lily finally managed to stammer, her voice barely a whisper. I'm Lily. Lumi skipped over to her, her yellow boots squelching with each step. I know. You painted me. Took a little while, but here I am. She grinned a wide, infectious grin. Your garden is lovely, especially the roses, though they could use a little more yellow, maybe? Lily's mind was reeling. You know I painted you? Of course. You gave me life with your colors. It's a bit wobbly at first, getting used to being solid, but it's wonderful. Lumi reached out and gently touched Lily's arm. It's wonderful to finally meet you. Whiskers, who had followed Lily outside, cautiously approached Lumi, sniffing the air around her boots with a puzzled expression. He circled her once, then twice, his tail puffed up like a bottle brush. He clearly wasn't sure what to make of this newcomer. The morning dissolved into a perfect day, bathed in sunshine and filled with laughter. Lily, still slightly dazed by the reality of Lumi, found herself swept up in a whirlwind of games and stories. They started with a fort, constructed from old blankets and garden furniture in the shade of the apple tree. Lumi, despite her initial unfamiliarity with the concept of a fort, quickly grasped the idea, decorating the interior with wildflowers she plucked from the garden. Back in my world, Lumi said, arranging a daisy chain around a wobbly chair leg. We don't really build things. Everything just is. It appears when you imagine it. It's much faster. Lily giggled. So you just think of a fort, and poof, it's there? Lumi shrugged. Pretty much. Though sometimes if you're not careful, it might be made of licorice instead of wood. It gets sticky. Next they told stories. Lily recounted tales of her school, her favorite books, and her dreams of becoming an artist. Lumi in turn described the world of painted dreams, a place Lily could barely comprehend. A realm woven from colors, where rivers flowed with shimmering paint and mountains were sculpted from clay. It's hard to explain, Lumi admitted, tracing patterns in the dirt with a twig. It's everything you can imagine, all at once. And nothing you can imagine because it's always changing. As the afternoon wore on, Lily tried to share her favorite things with Lumi. She led her to her room and presented her collection of stuffed animals. Lumi tilted her head, examining a fluffy bear with a puzzled expression. What is this? She asked, gently poking the bear's nose. It doesn't feel like anything. It doesn't do anything. He's Barnaby, Lily explained, a little deflated. He's my best friend. We have tea parties and go on adventures. Lumi's brow furrowed. Adventures? But he just sits there. Lily realized with a pang that Lumi, born from imagination, didn't quite understand the comfort and companionship a simple stuffed animal could bring. Her world was one of constant creation and change. Something static and unchanging was foreign. Later, as they explored the rose garden, Lily noticed something strange. Lumi reached out to touch a vibrant red rose, and as her fingers brushed against the petals, the bloom seemed to accelerate. It unfurled with unnatural speed, reaching full blossom in seconds, then just as quickly began to wilt, its petals drooping and turning brown. Whoa! Lily exclaimed, stepping back. What happened? Lumi looked at her hands, a flicker of worry in her eyes. I don't know. Just happens sometimes. When I forget I'm not fully here. She paused, her voice growing softer. I feel a bit faint, actually. Lily noticed it too. Lumi's color seemed less vibrant, her form slightly blurred around the edges, like a watercolor painting left out in the rain. Just then, Lily's mom appeared at the back door, a basket of laundry in her arms. She smiled at the sight of the two girls playing. Having fun, sweetie? She asked, her voice warm. You've made a lovely new friend. She's very quiet and well-behaved, isn't she? Lily's mom didn't seem to really see Lumi, her gaze sliding over her as if she were a shimmer in the air. It was unsettling. Yes, Mom, Lily replied, trying to keep the concern from her voice. We're having a great time. As her mom went back inside, Lily glanced back at Lumi. The faintness was more pronounced now. Lumi's hand, resting on a rose bush, was almost translucent. A shiver ran down Lily's spine. This perfect day felt fragile, like a dream on the verge of disappearing. The fading continued throughout the afternoon, a subtle dimming that cast a shadow over their games. Lily, increasingly worried, gently took Lumi's hand. It felt cool, almost like touching mist. "Lumi, are you okay? You seem less bright." Lumi sighed, a sound like the rustling of dry leaves. "I am not quite as anchored as I was this morning. It happens when the belief fades." "Belief? What belief?" Lily asked, her voice trembling. Lumi hesitated, looking away towards the setting sun. "It's hard to explain. I come from a place called the world of painted dreams. It's created by the imagination of children. Every drawing, every story, every fantastical thought, it all adds to our world." Lily stared, her mind reeling. "A world made of imagination?" "Yes," Lumi said, a small smile gracing her lips. "Mountains made of layered brushstrokes, rivers flowing with watercolor, forests of sculpted clay. Everything is vibrant, ever-changing, powered by the strength of a child's belief." "And you live there?" "I do. Or I did. I was created by you, Lily. You imagined me in your painting with the yellow raincoat and boots. You gave me life." Lumi's voice was barely a whisper. "But those who are forgotten, or whose creators stop believing, we begin to fade, to unravel." Lily's heart clenched. "You're fading because of me?" Lumi nodded sadly. "Your initial burst of imagination was so strong. That's why I appeared so vividly. But as time passes and the newness wears off, if the imagination isn't constantly refreshed, we weaken. It's like a painting left in the dark." Suddenly, Lumi held out her hand, and something extraordinary happened. A shimmering light emanated from her palm, growing brighter and brighter until it coalesced into a fleeting image, a breathtaking vista of swirling colors and impossible landscapes. Lily gasped. Towering structures built from paintbrushes reached towards a sky filled with floating palettes. Creatures made of pure light danced amongst trees that bore fruit of every conceivable hue. It was a world beyond anything she could have dreamed of. That's your home?" Lily breathed, awestruck. The vision flickered, then vanished, leaving Lumi looking exhausted. "Just a glimpse. It's difficult to project it from here. But you see? It's real. And it needs belief to survive." Lily felt a surge of determination. She wouldn't let Lumi fade. She couldn't. But how? She raced inside, grabbing her books from her bedroom. She frantically flipped through pages, searching for answers. "Imagination, dreams, parallel worlds," she mumbled to herself. She found a dusty encyclopedia with a section on mythology and folklore. Ancient cultures believed in realms created by thought and story, worlds that existed alongside our own, sustained by human belief. A small spark of hope ignited within her. Maybe Lumi wasn't just a figment of her imagination. Maybe she was a visitor from a place that truly existed, a place that needed her. She devoured every word, desperately seeking a way to strengthen the connection, to rekindle the flame of belief. She learned about the power of visualization, the importance of storytelling, the vital role imagination played in human creativity and well-being. Returning to the garden, Lily found Lumi sitting by the rose bushes, looking even fainter than before. I think I understand a little better now," Lily said, clutching the encyclopedia to her chest. "You're from a world made of imagination, and you need my belief to stay here." Lumi managed a weak smile. "You're a quick learner, Lily, and you're a wonderful creator. But understanding isn't enough. You need to feel it. You need to believe with all your heart." Lumi's fading became more noticeable with each passing hour, a disheartening slide into translucence. Her voice, once bright and clear, was now a whisper, barely audible above the gentle breeze rustling through the garden. Her movements, previously full of youthful energy, had slowed to a languid grace, like a wilting flower. Lily's heart hammered against her ribs, a frantic drumbeat of fear. "Lumi?" she asked, reaching out to touch her friend's hand. It felt colder now, less substantial, like grasping at smoke. "Lumi, say something." Lumi offered a weak smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. "I'm still here, Lily. Just a little tired." Tired wasn't the word. She was disappearing. Panic seized Lily and she scrambled to think of something, anything to stop it. She remembered how Lumi had come to life from her painting, fueled by her imagination. Maybe, just maybe, she could reignite that spark. Okay, Lily murmured, her mind racing. We'll play our fort game. That was fun, right? She grabbed a few blankets and pillows, frantically trying to recreate their earlier haven. Lumi attempted to join her, but her movements were sluggish, her hands fumbling with the fabric. She offered a small, apologetic smile. I don't have the energy, Lily. Lily's lower lip trembled. The fort, once a symbol of their friendship, now felt like a cruel reminder of what she was losing. She abandoned the blankets and snatched her sketchbook and colored pencils, determined to draw Lumi back to life. She sketched furiously, capturing Lumi's radiant smile, her bright yellow raincoat, the sparkle in her eyes. She poured all her love and energy into the drawing, hoping to transfer some of it to her friend. But as she finished, she noticed Lumi hadn't improved. In fact, she seemed even fainter. Desperation clawed at Lily's throat. She had to show someone, anyone, what was happening. Maybe if her parents could see Lumi, they would understand, they would help. Mom! Dad! She called, racing towards the house, pulling Lumi along with her. Come quick! You have to see. Her parents were in the kitchen, discussing something in hushed tones. They turned, smiling at Lily's excited face. What is it, sweetie? Her mom asked. Lily proudly presented Lumi. Look, this is Lumi, my new friend. Isn't she amazing? Her parents' smiles faltered. They looked at the spot where Lumi stood, their expressions shifting to confusion. Lily, honey, her dad said gently. There's no one there. Yes, there is. Lily insisted, her voice rising in panic. She's right here. Can't you see her yellow raincoat? Her boots? Her mom stepped closer, peering intently. I see a sort of shimmer, darling, like heat rising off the pavement. But it's just her. Lily's heart plummeted. They couldn't see her. Not really. She was losing Lumi, and no one else even knew she existed. Even Whiskers, usually a comforting presence, refused to approach Lumi. The cat sat a safe distance away, tail twitching nervously, eyes narrowed in suspicion. She emitted a low growl, a sound Lily had never heard before, and then turned her back on Lumi completely. It was as if Whiskers could sense something Lily couldn't. That Lumi was slipping away, becoming less and less real. Tears streamed down Lily's face. She knelt before Lumi, clutching her fading hands. Please, she pleaded, her voice choked with sobs. Please don't go. I need you. Lumi squeezed Lily's hands weakly. It's not your fault, Lily. You've given me a wonderful day, a wonderful life, but the colors are fading. Lumi's grip on Lily's hands loosened further, her form flickering like a dying candle flame. The shimmer her mother had noticed was growing more pronounced, outlining her shape with an ethereal glow that felt less like life and more like a fading echo. There is one thing, Lumi whispered, her voice barely a breath. A way to truly restore me. But it's a difficult choice, Lily. Lily's breath hitched. Anything. I'll do anything. Lumi's translucent eyes met Lily's, filled with a sorrow that mirrored her own. The world of painted dreams. It thrives on imagination, on belief. When someone is created from imagination, their strength comes from the heart of their creator. But if that heart wavers, if the belief fades, so do we. I believe in you, Lumi. Ido. Lily cried, squeezing her hands tighter, though she felt little resistance. It's not enough to believe now, Lily. You have to give something. Piece of your imagination. A cherished memory, a beloved dream. Something precious that fuels your own inner world. Transferring that energy to me will solidify my form, ground me here. But it will be gone from you forever. Lily recoiled as if struck. Give up a memory? A dream? The thought felt like tearing a piece of herself away. Her mind raced, cataloging the treasures within her imagination. The memory of her grandfather teaching her to build sandcastles on the beach. The secret world she created with her stuffed animals. The fantastical stories she dreamt of every night. Each one felt vital, integral to who she was. I don't understand, she stammered. You want me to forget something I love? Not forget, Lumi corrected gently. Release it. Allow its energy to flow into me. It won't erase the feeling, but the specific details, the vibrancy. They will become part of me, sustaining my existence. It's the only way. Lily stumbled backwards, overwhelmed. She wandered over to her bookshelf, running her fingers along the spines of her favorite books. Each story, each character was born from imagination. Could she truly sacrifice a part of that world? She closed her eyes and images flooded her mind. Baking cookies with her mom on Christmas Eve, the smell of cinnamon and sugar filling the kitchen. Winning the school art contest with a painting of a majestic unicorn. Building a magnificent snow fort with her dad after a blizzard. Each memory shone brightly, a beacon of joy and love. To willingly let one of them fade, it felt unbearable. What if I choose the wrong thing? She whispered, her voice trembling. What if I give up something I'll regret? You won't, Lumi said softly. Your heart will guide you, Lily. Choose what feels right, what you can bear to share. Lost in thought, Lily sank to the floor, Whiskers immediately appearing and nudging her hand with her head. She wrapped her arms around the cat, burying her face in her soft fur. Oh, Whiskers, she murmured, tears welling up again. What do I do? She wants a piece of me, piece of my imagination. How can I possibly choose? Whiskers purred loudly, rubbing against her cheek, as if offering silent comfort. Lily stroked her fur, finding solace in the familiar rhythm. It feels like losing a part of myself, she confessed to the cat. My imagination is everything. It's how I cope when I'm lonely. It's how I create. To me. Whiskers blinked slowly, her golden eyes seeming to hold a knowing wisdom. Lily knew she couldn't get actual advice from her cat, but somehow just feeling Whiskers' presence was enough to calm her racing thoughts, to remind her that even in the darkest moments, she wasn't truly alone. The weight of the decision pressed down on her, a heavy burden on her young shoulders. Giving up a piece of herself felt impossible, but watching Lumi fade away was even worse. She had to choose. But how? Lily stared at the half-finished painting on her easel, the bright yellows and blues mocking her despair. Giving up a memory felt like surrendering a part of her soul, a piece of what made her Lily. But watching Lumi flicker, her laughter growing fainter with each passing moment, was unbearable. Then a different idea sparked within her, a fragile hope blooming in the darkness. She looked at Lumi, her form barely visible against the afternoon light. The golden glow surrounding Lumi intensified, bathing the room in a warm, shimmering light. The colors in the collaborative painting seemed to breathe, the painted flowers swaying gently as if in a real breeze. Lumi's form, once so faint, was now brilliantly clear, her yellow raincoat almost dazzling. She looked whole. It worked, Lily, Lumi whispered, her voice strong and melodic. You saved me, not by giving something up, but by creating something new, something beautiful. Lily's eyes welled up with tears, but they were tears of joy. I'm so glad, Lumi. I was so scared of losing you. Lumi reached out and gently took Lily's hand, her touch surprisingly solid. You couldn't have lost me, not really. I exist because of your imagination, and now because of your belief in our shared dream. But, her voice dipped slightly, a shadow crossing her face. I have to go back now. Lily's heart sank. Go back? But why? The world of painted dreams needs me, Lily. There are others like me, creations fading because their dreamers have forgotten them. I can help them strengthen their colors, remind them that they are loved. It's my purpose. She squeezed Lily's hand. Think of it as being a dream doctor. Lily managed a weak smile. A dream doctor. I like that. I promise this isn't goodbye forever, Lumi said, her eyes sparkling. Whenever you paint with a full heart, whenever you truly believe in your imagination, I'll be able to visit. I'll be just a brushstroke away. A fresh wave of sadness washed over Lily, but it was tempered with understanding. She knew Lumi was right. She couldn't keep her here, tethered to this world. Lumi belonged among the dreams, tending to the fading wonders of imagination. I'll paint every day then, Lily declared, her voice firm. I'll fill the world with color and dreams just for you. Lumi's smile was radiant. That's all I ask. She began to fade, the golden light softening around her. "Thank you, Lily, for everything." With a final lingering glance, Lumi dissolved into a swirl of colors, leaving behind only the scent of paint and the echo of laughter. Lily stood there for a long moment, her hand outstretched, feeling the phantom warmth of Lumi's touch. Slowly, she turned her gaze to the painting. It was more than just a picture. It was a portal to a world of endless possibilities, a testament to the power of friendship and imagination. Carefully, she lifted the canvas and carried it to the most prominent wall in her bedroom. There it would hang, a constant reminder of her extraordinary friend. The next day at school, Lily felt a new sense of purpose. She noticed other children quiet and withdrawn, sketching in their notebooks, their imaginations hidden beneath layers of shyness. An idea sparked within her. "Mrs. Davis," she asked her teacher during recess, could I start an art club?" Mrs. Davis smiled. "That's a wonderful idea, Lily. I think a lot of children would enjoy that." And so the Dreamweavers Club was born. Lily encouraged her classmates to paint, to draw, to sculpt, to let their imaginations run wild. She told them stories of Lumi and the world of painted dreams, not as a literal truth, but as a reminder that anything is possible with a little belief. She watched as the children, inspired by her enthusiasm, began to blossom. They created fantastical creatures, painted vibrant landscapes, and filled the classroom with laughter and color. Lily realized that Lumi wasn't just a friend she'd saved. She was a catalyst, inspiring her to share the magic of imagination with the world. As she looked around at the joyful faces of her classmates, Lily knew that Lumi was right. Her imagination wasn't just for her. It was a gift to be shared, a beacon of hope and wonder in a sometimes dreary world. And she knew with absolute certainty that even though Lumi was far away, their friendship would live on, woven into every brushstroke, every color, every dream she ever created.